A lot of people on the internet and YouTube think that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a bad game. And I am here to tell everyone watching my channel why I think it's an amazing game. I truly don't understand why this game is hated so much. This game took Breath of the Wild and honestly made it better. It had better story and better boss fights, which are two big parts of video games. The gameplay felt smoother, the exploration felt amazing. It didn't feel like a grand, innovative experience like Breath of the Wild did, but this game made up for that with its gameplay, its boss fights, its storyline. The memories, I think, were a little bit better. I liked the geoglyph part of it instead of just going to a random rock formation. They're easier to find, for sure. Of course, I get the complaints that, like the Koroks and stuff like that, but still, this game is an amazing sequel to a game of the year. This game took Breath of the Wild's final boss, which if you remember is a complete pushover, and made what you're seeing on screen right now. It's such an epic ending. And it's so epic that I think Tears of the Kingdom is what should end the timeline, and you continue from like A Link to the Past or one of those three branches of the timeline. The game is amazing. It is my favorite Zelda game, and in my top 5 games of all time. This game is honestly, I don't understand the hate. If you guys are with me, please comment down below, but here are some of the reasons why people don't like the game. A lot of people don't like it because it took Breath of the Wild's map and basically just added a few things, like different kinds of towers, and really didn't add much to the main overworld. But do you know what made up for that? The depths and the Sky Islands. That adds like 1.5 of more maps. Like, it adds 2 other worlds to explore, one in the sky and one underground. And honestly, I think exploring the depths is really fun, as you can probably tell by some of my streams. A lot of people don't like it because it reuses a lot of the enemies, and I find that kind of fair. They didn't really make a ton of new ones besides like the constructs, but I think that's okay. I mean, honestly, the enemies were perfect in Breath of the Wild. They decided to keep those in this game. But I do understand why some people wouldn't like that. Another reason is the tutorial felt like a complete rehash of the previous game's tutorial, and the overall structure of some quests were seen as repetitive, which I also understand. Like, some of the quests were a little bit repetitive, but honestly, think of all the side quests this added, like finding Zelda or whatever with Pen. I thought that was really fun, and you eventually unlock the sticky gear, which helps you climb when it's raining, and that is what Breath of the Wild needed. Alright, and this last problem with it, I completely think it's valid, and honestly I can't defend this one. No underwater exploration. A feature that was in some previous games but were absent in Tears of the Kingdom was the lack of underwater exploration. And I bet people were expecting this because you have Zora's Domain in Breath of the Wild, but you couldn't explore anything underwater. So maybe people were expecting something like that in Tears of the Kingdom, including me. I was kind of expecting that. That's really the only criticism I don't have a defense for. But let's go on to some other people's problems. Another one was weapon durability. While the fuse system was intended to address weapon durability, some still found it frustrating and felt that weapons broke too quickly. Alright, again, this is probably another one I don't have a defense for because I find really cool weapons all the time in Tears of the Kingdom, and all of them except the Master Sword break. So that I kind of don't like that, but like, also that was in the first game, so I don't know why people are only mad about it in Tears of the Kingdom. But honestly, this game is a lot better than people say it is. There are a lot of problems with it, but that's with any game. If you look at Breath of the Wild, I had a few problems with that game too. Every boss in Breath of the Wild was just a different elemental version of Ganon, whereas in this game it's completely different. First, you've got Marbled Goma, you have Colgera, which is one of my favorite boss fights of all time, you have Queen Gibdo, which is another great boss fight, and you have Muktarok, which was really a creative fight. So all of these bosses are 1,000 times better than what Breath of the Wild had, including the boss you're seeing on screen now. This is the final boss, and like Breath of the Wild, the final boss has like 2 phases, and one where he's a human and one where he's like a big dragon. And in the first game, it was spider, then go on to being a boar. The spider fight was really fun, but the wild beast Ganon, whatever it was called, that was a pushover. It was really easy. It was epic, but it was really, really easy. And the Ganondorf fight in this game, right before the Demon Dragon, is actually really, really hard. So, problem is, I think Breath of the Wild was a lot easier than Tears of the Kingdom, which goes to show, like, Hollow Knight is a lot easier than Hollow Knight Silksong, and for good reason. When you drop a sequel to a game, you want to have it more of a challenge than the previous game was, and that's what Tears of the Kingdom offers, and that's why I love it so much. I also like the hand abilities a lot more than the runes. The runes included stasis, bombs, magnesis, and there was one other that's not coming to me right now. I'll put it on screen. But in Tears of the Kingdom, what do you have? You have this amazing Ultra Hand ability, which is like magnesis, but you can do it with other things and build vehicles with it. I mean, come on, guys. You can build vehicles in this game, and it is amazing. But, yeah, I don't know. I love this game a lot. It has so many things that are a lot better than what Breath of the Wild has to offer.